Hopefully they're all working. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Picture it. April 1775, nighttime. A bridge over the Nashua River in Pepperell, Massachusetts. 30-some-odd women are standing in the dark wearing their husbands' clothes, holding muskets that most of them really don't know how to use. And some of them have pitchforks that they really do know how to use. Two horsemen come around the bend. One of them is about to get tackled off his horse by a woman named Prudence. And the other one is her own brother. That shit really happened. Prudence Cummings was born in 1740 up in Hollis, New Hampshire. She married a Pepperell man named David Wright in 1761, and they got busy building a life. Like 11 kids busy. Full number, and yes, that's a lot of children. By the spring of 1775, that life had already taken some hits. She lost a 6-year-old daughter to fever the year before. Then in March of 1775, just weeks before the shots at Lexington, she lost another child, a son that they had named Liberty. And if you're looking for irony, there it is. Free of charge. Grieving, she went back home to her parents' place in Hollis for a spell. And that trip is the whole reason this story even exists. See, Prudence had a couple brothers that didn't really see the revolution the way that she did. Two of them sided with the crown, and while she was staying at her parents' house, she overheard one of those brothers talking to a man named Leonard Whiting. And they were talking about running some info to the British. Word of gunpowder stores, troop movements headed towards Boston by the way of Pepperell. So picture this. She's mourning a dead child under her parents' roof. And she finds out that her flesh and blood is about to go give some info to the army that just fought her neighbors at Lexington. Wasn't a feeling that she sat with very well. And she got out of Hollis without tipping anybody off, rode straight back to Pepperell. So Hollis, New Hampshire to Pepperell, Massachusetts is about a 20-minute drive today. Like 60 mile an hour and shit. Or 80 or 90 for people who can't keep their foot out of it. And back then, that was about a day's ride, which probably tells you everything you need to know about how the fucking roads were. And honestly, if you've ever been up that way, they're still kind of the same way. Every man in town who could hold a musket was holding a musket. They were already gone off somewhere in the militia chasing down the British back towards Boston. So Prudence did the only thing that made sense to her. She called all the women together. And somewhere between 30 and 40 of them showed up. They put on their absent husbands and brothers and sons' clothes because that made you look like a soldier at night in the distance, and they were armed with whatever they had on hand. You start making forms out in the moonlight or whatnot, and you just see a bunch of soldiers standing there holding a bunch of long things that you don't know are fucking broomsticks or firelocks. Some of them had some muskets, sure, but pitchforks. Bad joke, because most of them dudes didn't come home. Prudence was elected to lead them. She picked a woman from Groton named Sarah Shattuck as her second. And turns out picking your second in command from the next town over is basically a diplomatic incident waiting to happen. Pepperell and Groton have been probably fighting for the past 250 years over who really gets credit, but it is what it is. Gives them something to play football about. They knew that Jewett's bridge over the Nashua River was the only real way, so that was where they posted up. They got there after dark and they waited. Some 30-ass women in their husband, brothers, sons' clothes standing around in the dark holding farm equipment waiting for what the fuck ever was going to show up. And if that ain't some American shit, like seriously, who's ever heard of Prudence? Like, I hadn't heard of Prudence. I'm balls deep in this. Like, who's heard about Prudence? Let me know in the comments if you've ever heard about this woman. Two riders come up the road. The guard stepped out and stopped them cold. One rider took a look at 30 armed women who clearly meant business and was like, nope, I'm fucking leaving. This is not for me. And turned his ass right back around and took off. Family legend says that the rider recognized his sister's voice in the dark and noped right the fuck on out. I don't care what side of the war you are on. You do not test whether your sister means business when she's holding a pitchfork, especially since she's already buried 2 children and one less than a month ago. She's probably in a bad mood. More than likely. The other writer, that Leonard Whiting that I was talking about earlier, he apparently didn't get the memo where everybody was like, let's not fucking go here. He didn't stop and turn around. He just kept on going. The women pulled him off of his horse, searched him, and sure enough, found out that he was carrying papers meant for the British, so they marched him off to the tavern in town for the night and sent those dispatches on to the Patriot Committee of Safety. A woman's militia, armed with pitchforks and muskets that some of them might have known how to use. I'm not saying they didn't. I'm not saying they did. I'm saying they grabbed him. Regardless, they had just intercepted some British intelligence in April of 1775, just weeks into the war. A group of women that you probably never heard about stopped some riders, intercepted some British intelligence a couple weeks into the war. A group of women dressed in their husband's, brother's, son's clothes, armed with pitchforks and stuff, farm equipment, stopped some spies carrying British intelligence a couple weeks after the war started. It's very apparent when it comes to anything getting paid anywhere from the government. It apparently took the town of Pepperell until 1777, that's 2 whole fucking years later, to actually pay these women for their service. 2 years. Prudence caught a spy carrying some British papers with a fucking pitchfork, and the town's response was, let us get back to it. No, that's America. America. When they finally did vote to compensate the Guard, it made them among the first women's militia in the country to get paid for military service at all. I mean, it doesn't undo the 2-year wait, but it's still a bigger deal than it sounds. Prudence kept going after that. She raised a family, stayed a patriot throughout the whole war, died in 1823. Her gravestone doesn't call her somebody's wife or somebody's mother first. It calls her captain of the bridge guard. Fuck yeah, it does. So here's your fine print. The earliest written version of the story didn't show up until 1848. That's about 70 years after it supposedly happened. And the fullest account came from a speech given in 1899. For you locals here, that's when the Stocker building was erected. So some of the details, who exactly said what happened, probably got fudged, moved around, whether it was Samuel and his brother, or whether it was both of their brothers, or where, But what I'm telling you is, the bridge, the guard, the capture, the 2 years it took to get paid, that's all documented fact. The rest is family memory doing its best. Which, honestly, is how most of this country real history actually survives. It's not in a record. It's somebody's meemaw's version of Papaw's story. Prudence Cummings wasn't really in the book, and now she is. Best way to support the channel is like the channel, follow the channel, hit that bell on the channel, share the channel, tell everybody about the channel, all of that good shit. My name's Jeremy. Thanks for coming. This is not in the book.
Pepperell in the dark, we don't need a man. Pitchfork in my grip, that's the only clan. Brother came through smiling, thought I let him pass. Now I know your voice.